Hi, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Pat Theriault, and it is prom season, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm certainly excited about it. I've got a special guest with me today. She is the West Lawrence High School prom sponsor, Miss Jennifer Stinson.
Hey,
Hi.
it's good to be here.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
You know, this is such an exciting time for teenagers, the prom.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It is.
You know, and before we talk about you as a prom sponsor, I want to talk about us back in our day of the prom.
Oh, it's been a long time ago.
Honey child. It's been about 26 years for both of us, you know, and of course so much has changed in the 26 years. And you know, as you can see from some of the clips that we're going to show of us back in the day of the material.
That's right. Girl, weren't we?
Honey, that was crazy, don't you think?
It was.
You know, and my hair, you know, I had the jerry curl back in the day. Some of you don't know what jerry curls are, honey, but that was the thing when you played basketball. And I had my hair blown out. Mm-hmm. It was probably about 2 feet high, honey. You know, like they say, the higher your hair, the closer you are to Jesus.
That's right. And the bangs were like 3 inches high. Do you remember?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I think about, like, the styles of the dresses back then. Oh, my God. But I was such a tomboy. All I cared about was basketball. Mm-hmm. And so for me to put that dress on and had the split that come up to here, okay, with the fishnet pantyhose, can you believe that? And so, you know, but I know so much has changed, and I know so much goes into the prom these days, and I really want to have you talk about some of those things, and also have some students that represent our county, Lawrence County. So I've got representatives from Dublin High School, from West Lawrence, as well as East Lawrence here today, and they're going to kind of give us their take about the prom and what they have to look forward to in the next week or so coming on. Now, all right, Jennifer, let's start with you. Let's talk about your position over there at West Lawrence. Now, there's more to it than just being the prom coordinator.
Oh, absolutely. I teach school. Mm-hmm. I've been at West Lawrence since 1998. I've been prom sponsor since 2002. Mm-hmm. And every year I keep saying, I'm going to give it up next year.
This is it.
But, you know, honestly, it's just gotten to be, it's not a difficult task. Mm-hmm. I know when to start every year.
Yeah.
You start off booking your DJ. And it's just a process. And at this point, honestly, I told my principal the other day that I'm not nervous this year.
Yeah.
I think I've just done it so long that you just kind of know what's going to happen and at what time.
So how long does the process take? You know, you say you start off booking the DJ. How far in advance do you have to do this?
Oh, wow. I start actually in August when we come back. Mm-hmm. And first we have to establish the school calendar for that year.
Right.
And but traditionally we have our prom the Saturday before spring break starts. Mm-hmm. And so it actually works out great because the kids get to go to the beach and have a good time. And by the time school comes back in that following week, mm-hmm. all the stuff is over with and they're ready to get back settled into their academics.
Absolutely, because
mm-hmm.
just the whole process of getting ready for prom as a teenager,
mm-hmm.
you just, especially as the girls out there, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Now, let's talk about this process on your end. Mm-hmm. You've been doing this for about 12 years, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so the process for you, it goes on the entire year
Absolutely.
of school.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the things that you all have to consider? Because I know you have a prom club.
Right, we do.
What is that?
It's where a group of kids come together, and when we start off the year, it's usually in August that we start up, and they pay a minimal fee to be a member, mm-hmm. and they actually are the ones who make the decisions about the prom, and we have the student prom committee, and then we have an adult prom committee that consists of maybe 10 or 12 faculty mm-hmm. members, and we basically just come together and we kind of oversee all the details.
Now, how many are in the prom club?
We have about 30 members.
30 members, so
mm-hmm.
they're the deciding group.
That's right.
Of the theme.
That's right.
And what takes place.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I also heard there's a word on the street that you've got a party bus.
Well, the party buses are usually booked by the kids. That's totally separate from school.
Totally separate from school.
Totally separate from school. And a lot of the kids ride the party buses, ride the limos, mm-hmm. and do all that. And they enjoy that.
Yeah.
And it just gets them there safely. And but now some kids do the usual ride in the car like we used to do.
Right.
Yeah.
No parents can drop their kids off to the prom.
No.
I'm just letting that be a statement that I wanted to put out there. Now, what kind of precautionary measures do you make sure that you consider with these kids? Because you do want it to be a memorable experience, but you also want them to be safe.
That's right. This year we did not have a program, but usually we have a program that addresses alcohol and drinking and driving during that time. This year they actually was scheduled to have a ghost out, and it got rescheduled due to the recent tornado that kind of came through. And the bad weather.
What is a ghost out?
A ghost out is where kids dress up and they go around almost as if they're not living anymore, and they're not allowed to speak, and they have the white on their faces, and they're dressed kind of almost like they're deceased or passed. And they walk around the halls among their peers. And
I love that. That's an
so,
interactive theater. That
right.
is like that. That's interactive theater where you're actually showing, you're getting a message across.
Right.
And it's pantomime, so you're not even speaking. I love that.
That's right.
And so, of course, issues with driving drunk. What other issues do you all consider with these kids? Just kind of precautionary things.
That's the main thing. But we're also trying to teach them that when you're part of a formal event, that you should act like young ladies and young men.
There you go.
And that's a big thing in today's society. I think a lot of kids don't have that opportunity very often.
Right.
And with having a prom, it gives them that opportunity to use that formal etiquette that they should, and whether they do or not, but it does give them an opportunity to dress up and have a nice evening. With their friends.
And we're hoping that that's the case, and there's so many movies out there about prom night, Mean Girls, I remember that one, and it's like just so many scenes. Remember Grease?
Yes. Yes.
There's so many movies out there that have different interpretations about the prom and how special and important this night is. And so a lot of these kids have these grandiose ideas of what to expect that evening.
Right. Right.
And so we're hoping that they have a wonderful
I
time,
hope
especially
they do
with
too.
all the time that you have all placed into making it happen.
I do too.
And so I look forward to talking to these kids.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and I appreciate everything that you have done.
Thank you.
To make this night special.
But I'm going to tell you, with the faculty, you couldn't do it just by yourself.
Yeah.
And we have a great committee, and the kids are great because we start out telling them that this is their prom, that we've all had our prom, and so it's so important that they get involved and to know that it is their prom, and what they put into it is what they get out of it.
Oh, that's so good. I love the mentorship that you get. Do you have chaperones there?
Yes, usually teachers, no parents.
No parents allowed.
Because the kids absolutely say, I will not come if parents come.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much,
Thank
Mrs.
you
Simpson.
for having me.
Thank you. We'll be back in just a moment, and we're going to speak to some of these kids and just see what they have to say about this year's prom. All right, guys, we are back, and I've got 3 representatives from the schools here in Dublin, Lawrence County, and we're going to talk all about prom. I've got Miss Kaitlin Austin here, who's representing Dublin High School. Hey, Kaitlin.
Hey.
I've got Miss Allie Clark. She's here with West Lawrence High. What's up, Allie?
Nothing.
I love that. And we have Salvatore Hart from East Lawrence High School. What's up, Salvatore? What's up? See, I had to change that with Salvatore. I just spoke with Miss Stinson, who represents West Lawrence, and we talked about the prom. Now, I want to know from each of you, we're going to talk about your excitement about the prom, and I know some of you are on the prom committee, and we want to talk about some of the things that you're doing. We'll start with you, Miss Kaitlin. Now, Kaitlin, I know you're the drum major at Dublin High School.
Yes, ma'am.
You go, girl. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself, and tell us about what your role is here with your prom.
Okay, well, I'm a junior at Dublin High School, so this is my first prom I'll be going to, and I'm with the prom committee. And so basically, the prom theme has already been decided, but we just help build the props and get it ready for prom night.
Did you say build props?
Yes, ma'am.
So you guys are doing some hard work to get ready for this prom. So what is your theme?
It's Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West, but y'all can't get too wild, right, Kaitlin?
No, ma'am.
That's my
can't.
public service announcement to you all. Now, what is the preparation that goes into, you're talking about building the set.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you talking about building the set?
Like to incorporate with the theme, we have like I'll tell you one thing we have is a barn. So we order the stuff and we just have to like put them together basically, so it looks 3D for prom.
That's going to be so cool. That's set design. That's stage and set design. And you're in my alley now with theater. Now, this is your first prom.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you feel about that, Kaitlin?
I'm excited and nervous at the same time, but more excited.
Now, so you're excited. What are you nervous about?
I guess, well, it'll just be hanging out with my friends the whole night. So.
Right. This is going to be cool, though. It's going to be fun. You got an expert over here, Miss Allie. Now, Allie's been there. She's been to a prom before, right, Allie? Now, tell us a little bit about you, Allie.
I'm in the 11th grade, and I go to West Lawrence, and I'm in prom club.
So you're in the club for the Elite 30 to plan everything about your prom.
I am.
Tell us about that.
Well, we have Miss Stinson, and we meet on our club days. And when we go, we voted on the theme, and we voted on like the decorations that we get and the little gifts, I guess you could say.
Right, little
that you
party
get.
favors and different things like that. What is your prom theme?
I'm going to be honest with you, I can't remember the exact name.
That's okay.
But it's like a night in New York, I think.
Love. That's going to be fabulous. Now, so how easy or how difficult was your prom club in deciding on what to do? Because you're saying you have to vote.
Yeah, well, Miss Stinson gave us, I think she gave us 3 to choose from. And then we just told her which one we wanted, and then at the end, the majority won.
The majority rules. Now, what advice can you give Kaitlin? Now, Caitlin's just a little bit nervous. This is her first time going to the prom. What advice can you give her? Because this is your second time going, right? What kind of advice can you give to her?
To just don't get too nervous and kind of just be relaxed, because it's all going to go good in the end.
So in other words, chill out.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself. Don't be so uptight, right? But Salvatore, what's up, Salvatore?
What's up?
Now, Salvatore, you are the gentleman on the dais today, and so with guys, I know it's probably you think it's probably a little bit different in preparing for the prom as opposed to these girls. Tell us about your preparation for the prom.
My preparation wasn't as hard as I expected it to be. I went to a new tuxedo rental shop. It's called Van Nix. It's right beside Payless. And he helped me prepare and got me out of there in less than 45 minutes. Showed me every kind of suit. I actually have a new suit that I'm hoping to not see any other male at the prom with.
Is that right?
It's called a fitted tux. It fits on your body like almost like a long sleeve shirt, actually.
Is that right? So, so you're like, okay, it took you 45 minutes to get your outfit.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
hear that, girls? 45 minutes to get your
45.
tux. And so are you taking a date, or are you going what you call stag by yourself? What are your plans with that?
Yes, ma'am. I'm taking a date.
Taking a date, very nice. And I want to talk a little bit about some safety things, just to kind of, just talk to you guys about. Speaking with Ms. Denson, and of course being a parent myself to a senior, there are many things that we parents really think about, with you guys being out there. What kind of advice, I'm going to ask you all, what kind of advice can you give someone out there who's going to the prom, things that they need to look into, or look out there about themselves, because we talked about being professionals, this is a very glamorous occasion, so to speak, to where you're able to dress up and be elegant if you so choose. And I really want you all, as you're representing your school, to really give some advice out there to those kids, other peers that are going to the prom. Salvatore, let's start with you, because I know that you did attend the prom last year.
Yes, ma'am.
And being a male figure, and you seem to be a very upstanding gentleman.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of advice or words of wisdom can you give to another student out there or peer that's attending the prom?
When you think you have enough money, bring more. You will run out. I'm just gonna let you know that now. Gas, food, you can eat before all you want to, but once you go into the prom and start dancing and realize how high it's gonna end up getting, you're gonna burn off calories, you're gonna come back out as hungry as you was before you went in. So, you know, make sure you have enough money. Don't do nothing that the good Lord wouldn't do.
That's good.
And have fun. Like, it's your last. You only have 2 proms in your life. You can't make that up after that. So
That's very good. That's very good. Now, you say you got to have plenty of money.
yes, you do.
So prom can be very expensive then,
Yes, ma'am.
because you're talking about if you're going to have a tux that's probably, or a suit maybe a one of a kind, so to speak.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, that costs, and you're actually taking a date.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you think you've got enough money, bring more. Those are the words of Salvatore. All right, now, Allie, let's go with you.
There is such thing as too high, especially with high heels, because nobody looks cute falling around.
Hello. So you're saying now, some girls, I'm thinking, have never even worn high heels before.
Yeah, like when you go to try on shoes, if you can't walk in the store, don't buy them because it's just a waste of money.
Really? Now, are you good at walking in heels?
I am, but like I said, there is too high.
There is too high. So those 6-inch stilettos, you might need to leave them at home or bring your old lady slippers like I do.
But see, what I'm doing is I have heels, but I'm taking pictures in them, and then I'm putting my Vans on.
You hear that? So that you can really dance.
Yeah, so I
right?
can actually have fun and not worry about falling around.
You hear that? Very good advice. All right, now, Kaitlin, this is your first time going to the prom. So even though you've never been to the prom, you're on the prom committee, so I'm quite sure there's some things that you know that about yourself and about just being a teenager in general. Some advice that you can give to someone out there. What would that be?
I would think not to fall into peer pressure just that whole night, because, I mean, you hear stuff, but in the end, it's not always going to be the best of what you think it might be.
Very good. You're so right. Because a lot of times people have expectations about the prom. And sometimes they're false expectations. And, you know, even Salvatore, I'm going to say this, when guys feel as though they're spending money on a girl, there's an unwritten rule or expectation there where they might have that inkling of thinking, okay, I'm spending my money on you. Fill in the blank. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
You're right. There's guys like that. So I really want you out there, you teenagers out there, to be cognizant of that. And like Kaitlin said, don't fall into peer pressure, because there's a lot of peer pressure out there, and that you have to consider certain things, because this is one night. It's not the rest of your life. You want to have a good time, but you also want to be smart and use wisdom. And like Kaitlin, I love myself a good pair of high heels, honey. But you still want to use wisdom in that, because it's okay to look cute and elegant, but you also want to protect your knees and you want to be able to dance. All right, well, listen, thank you 3 so much for coming on to represent your schools, and thank you for the wisdom that you have given me and to the viewers out there. I'm looking forward to talking to some of your other peers as well. So thank you, Kaitlin.
You're welcome.
Enjoy your first night out, darling. Allie, you're a pro, honey. Keep your Vans on hand. And Salvatore, you got plenty of money in your pocket. So whomever you're taking, I'm sure you're going to have a good time. And you said, listen, don't fall into peer pressure. We'll be back in just a moment with 3 other students to talk about the prom. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and I'm telling you, I've been enjoying myself with these teenagers. They're actually making me feel a bit like a teen. Well, a bit like a teen, not so much, but still. We've got 3 more teenagers here that we're going to speak with. We've got Miss Darby Graham, who is representing West Lawrence Raiders. Go Raiders. Hey, Darby.
Hi.
Hi. I love these accents. We've got D'Angelis LaJoy Simmons from East Lawrence High School. Hey, Joey.
Hey.
And then we've got Mr. Radney here. We've got Kasey Radney from Dublin High School. Kasey came right off the soccer field to instill his wisdom here on the set. Hi, what's up, Kasey?
Not much.
Now, I've spoken to 3 of the students already, and I tell you, it's just been so refreshing to hear the advice that they were giving. concerning the prom, because it's a big deal.
Yes,
It's
very.
a really big deal. And there's some people that don't even go to the prom. And that's okay too. But for the ones that are going, I really want you all to kind of give some words. You know, we're going to talk a little bit about fashion. You two look like fashionistas.
I would like to think of myself as one.
I would like to think of myself as one too, darling. And you know, so much has changed through the years, because when I spoke with Miss Stinson and you saw those pictures of us
Yes.
up there, bless our hearts, honey. You know, things have changed with style. Kasey, we're going to get with you in just a moment, but I'm going to talk first a little bit about fashion, and I'm going to let you talk about your fashion, okay, and your style. But I want to talk to these girls a little bit. You two are going to be my fashionistas right now. So much has changed, and I know that you also have dress codes
Yes.
that you have to abide by. So we'll start with you, Miss Graham, and you tell us about, you have dress codes. Tell us about what your dress code is for West Lawrence.
Our dress code mainly consists of keeping it classy and elegant, and no cutout mesh. Do you know what mesh is?
Yes, honey.
We're not supposed to have a lot of that. We don't want skin showing in the stomach, any of that. Your cutout cannot be 6 inches above your knee, I'm pretty sure.
All right here.
Yes, ma'am. I
Uh-huh.
think it has to be 6 or 3 inches above your knee.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be covered as well.
All
and
of this.
you have to be covered.
Yes.
And that's about it. We have a very decent dress code that it's very easy to abide by. And
Yes. So in
it's
other
not that
words,
hard.
you've got to keep it classy.
Yes.
And not be trashy.
Yes, always classy.
Always classy. And you know, there's going to be a few, honey,
Of course.
that's going to get through the gate. and you know, and I know that just from, you know, the military balls and formals that I've gone to, and I've gone to so many, and it is important to have a dress code.
Yes, very.
But you're going to have a few
Yes.
that are going to push it.
Yes. I
And-
think that dress code is a very, very well thing that we should keep having a dress code.
Absolutely. I think that's so important. Now, you've been to the prom before.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell us a little bit, what grade are you in now?
I'm in 11th grade, so I went my 10th grade year as well.
How was that?
It was very exciting and very new, but I enjoyed myself very well.
I bet you
Yes.
did. All right, DeAngelis. Now, you've been to the prom before.
I have.
I need to throw that out. This is my niece, Joy, okay? I remember when she was born. I always have to let you know, Joy, that I'm your aunt. You've been to the prom before, and I've seen your style, and I consider you very stylish.
Thank you.
And does East Lawrence have a dress code that you have to abide by?
We do, but it's similar to theirs. I don't think it's as strict as theirs, but they're similar.
Now, Joy, what kind of what not to wear would you throw out there to some of those ladies?
If you're kind of on the plump side, don't wear something that's going to be showing all the parts of you, you know. Or if you have a good figure, you can show off a little more, but just remember to keep it classy.
Keep it classy is very good. And two, with you you're about 6'1",
Yes.
right? So if you wear a shorter dress, as opposed to my little Oompa Loompa 5'2" wearing a short dress, that gives it a whole different look, doesn't it?
It is.
That's a whole lot of leg. And for you, how tall are you?
I'm about 5 foot.
5 foot. I love it. You know, and so that makes a difference. So your height makes a difference and your proportions, to where I think that you can look elegant and in any size that you are, but just having just making sure that, like you say, you have to cover up. I'm glad that you all have the dress codes. You know, growing up down south on a farm, you know, we talk like this, honey. You can't be showing all your goodness gracious. You understand that, right?
I do.
You understand that.
I do.
And two, the other girls had given some ideas about, you know, wearing very high heels. You know, just being careful because you want to be safe. There's a lot of you out there that are athletes, so you have to protect those bodies and bones, you know, especially if you like to dance. Do you like to dance?
I'm actually a dancer for my school.
Oh my God, let me high five her just like this.
I'm a sapphire.
You hear that? She's a sapphire. And so with you've got to protect yourself being a dancer. Now let's get over here to the young man of the hour. Mr. Kasey. Now, Kasey, we've been talking to the girls about fashion. So as a gentleman, you know, Salvatore told us it took him 45 minutes and he was ready. Now, what about you?
It was about the same as me. For a tux, it doesn't take very long to get fitted and pick out what you want. It's like picking out food, really. You don't have to go to many places. You go to one place, it's all there for you, ready to go. You don't have to shop around and try to find one that fits you perfect. They'll fit it for you.
And you found it. It
Yes,
fits
ma'am.
you perfect.
Within a couple of minutes, I was ready
A
to
couple
go.
of minutes. These guys have it good, don't they, girls?
Very easy.
Now, how long did it take you to find your dress?
About 2 months.
2 months, 45 minutes. Right. What about you, Joy?
Just a couple weeks, but it's
But see, 45 minutes for this fella. Now listen, Kasey, we girls, it's important to us that we kind of stand out a little bit. Now, do you feel the same way about yourself?
Well, at first I was going to like match my date, but then I realized all the people that I had to take pictures with. So I decided to just keep it classic black and white because the color doesn't really matter to me. That way I can take pictures with several people and
Look at that.
have all those memories.
I love the fact that Kasey wants to spread himself, you know, a little bit at the prom, you know, and that's true, Kasey, because a lot of times you do want to match your prom date, but you're thinking out of the box. You're like, wait a minute, I'm going to take a lot of pictures with a lot of people, so you're keeping it classy.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. I love that. Now, and you've never been to the prom before.
No, that's my first time.
Do you have any apprehensions about the prom?
I'm just really excited for it, actually. I haven't had to put too much preparation to it. I know the girls do, you know, about 95% of everything. We
Yes.
just pay for, you know, a good part of
Well,
it.
there you go, honey.
So I'm really excited to have a good night with everyone.
Absolutely. Now, do you believe are you going to purchase a corsage to have it?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I have that for my date and to put on my tux and everything.
Kasey, you're very classy.
Thank you.
I like that. And also, Kasey, now, I want you to tell them a little bit about yourself because you and I had spoken before with the soccer team.
Yes, ma'am. I'm a senior on the Dublin Fighting Irish soccer team, and I just go through every day soccer practice and soccer games.
And he's pretty smart, too. Now, Joy, tell us a little bit about yourself. Now, I'm going a little backwards here, but I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a senior at East Lawrence. I'm the clarinet captain, and that's just about it.
And you're smart.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny how kids don't like to tell people how smart they are. Us mamas and our aunts, we have to brag about it. Now, tell us about you, dear.
I'm a junior at West Lawrence High School, and I am a Sapphire, part of the dance line, and I enjoy it very much. This will be my 3rd year, and tryouts are actually coming up.
All right.
And I didn't dance my freshman year, so I had to try out this year. So
And now you're a Sapphire, but
yes,
you'll keep it moving.
Yes,
You'll
of
definitely
course.
Keep it moving. Now, listen, guys, I want to, this show has been very lighthearted, and I'm really wanting to get some advice out there from you guys to kind of share with the other teens out there, and for the ones that are up and coming, because you've got some freshman girls and boys that would love to go to the prom if they could.
yes.
And I know you know some of them, and for the ones that are preparing to attend the prom. Now, what East Lawrence's prom?
Friday.
This Friday. And you all have a later prom, don't you?
Actually, it's this Friday as well.
Same day.
Saturday. I'm
Saturday,
sorry.
the
It's
day
Saturday.
after,
Yeah,
but
the 29th.
Ours is April 12th.
April
we have
the
a couple
12th. So
weeks.
you do have a little bit more time, but you're pretty much ready.
Yes, ma'am.
You got a limo or you going to drive?
We're going to drive up to Macon and eat up there.
This boy is taking her out of town. I'm so impressed with you. Now, are you two going with dates, or are you going by yourself or with friends?
I have a date.
You have a date? What about you, Joy?
I'm going with friends.
Going with a friend. See, and I went with my girlfriend, I tell you, because I didn't want to be tied down.
Well, I'm going with my best friend, so hopefully it won't be too bad.
Oh, no, it's going to be so much fun. And I want to close the show out. I want you guys I'll give you each individual space to kind of give some advice. I had the other 3 do so as well. But to give some advice for those that are attending the prom, because I'm going to reiterate this, that I want you, as a parent, as an adult, just as a person, I want you all to have a wonderful time. But I want you to be safe, okay? I want you to be wise. All right? And so we will start with you, darling, Miss Sapphire.
You need to stay calm. I know stress is a very big issue with girls in prom, and that is the worst thing you could do. I know when I get stressed out, I get pimples like crazy, and I do not want that on my prom day. So keeping calm is the absolute best thing you can do.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be stressed out about anything. Just be sure you're prepared early.
There you go. Don't procrastinate.
No, do
Yeah.
not.
That's the thing, because we have to get our hair done, our makeup done, our nails done, and we want to look fabulous.
Just be sure you have enough time to do everything. You don't run out of time.
You got it, girls? Start 2 days before. All right, Joy, we'll go with you.
I would say just to relax and to enjoy yourself, because you can be so stressed up to it, but on the day of, just relax and make sure you have fun.
And that's true. And when you're not relaxed, it shows.
Yes.
Have you seen that on
Yes.
people?
Yeah.
When I'm not relaxed, honey, I'm like this. I'm serious. When I'm, and I know I'm very expressive, but I think that you're right. It's so important to be relaxed, because you're putting so much emphasis into this. You took 2 months to find your
Yes.
dress, 2 weeks, 45 minutes, baby. But either way, it's important to be relaxed, because this is your time to enjoy your friends and to just have fun. All right. Well,
If I could give any advice, it would be to use your better judgment, because I know a lot of people are going out of town to eat, and people are taking party buses and limos. Use your better judgment and don't do anything that you'll regret the next morning.
There
would,
you go.
Mess up your career choices or high school or anything.
that's very good. That's such a wise thing, because you're right. It's just one night. And I chose to go by myself with my friend, because I didn't want to be, when I say I don't want to be tied down, I wasn't dating anyone. And I didn't just want to go with a guy and feel any kind of obligation or peer pressure or anything like that. And I really was thinking about my career after high school, because I already signed for college to play basketball. And I knew that, hey, my reputation was my identity, and as with you all. So great advice, all of you. Listen, I hope you all have had a good time here. I have enjoyed myself with these teenagers. They are just so fabulous. I wish I would have had Trinity on, but they had some conflicting schedules with their students and couldn't make it. My thank you, special guest to thank you for Miss Stinson, who was here to represent West Lawrence's prom committee, and just in general, just different things to be cautious about and be aware of. And thank you to the wonderful teenagers that were here. You guys have a wonderful time.
Thank you for having us here.
You guys are awesome. I kind of want to go to the prom, but then I kind of don't, because the music would just probably not be my style. I love the 80s.
Oh, yes.
I love the 80s. All right. Thank you for watching the program, and continue watching Real Talk.